This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I am here recording a video in Vancouver, Canada. I've traveled over because I needed to see my family, and here we are. I've seen them now, and we're happy. And just wanted to share a quick video with you guys about seed retention. We call it semen retention, seed retention. You know, we're going to go over to seed retention over time here. It's going to take time for me to develop the habit. But what I wanted to share with you guys is, why are we practicing seed retention? Why am I instilling this truth in you guys so that you can actually apply it and use it in your daily life to set up your lifestyle, to set up the life that you desire long term, what you actually want to create? Because life doesn't just happen to you. It shouldn't just happen to you. Life is something that you plan, that you organize, that you make happen. And I can tell you right now that it's way better to plan, to have depth in those three aspects of relationships, health, and finances. Finances. I'm repeating that one because, for those of you who don't know, I was practicing seed retention without even knowing about it because I was very religious between the ages of 18 and 23. From 18 to 19 years old, there was 1 year where I was just massively preparing myself to be a holy man and be a missionary and go to South Africa to preach Jesus. That's basically what I did. And from 19 to 21, I was completely celibate. I ejaculated maybe there was probably just a wet dream. One time that I ejaculated because I don't know what happened suddenly, whatever. And that was 19 to 21. And then I came home to Oslo in Norway, and my goal was to get married as soon as possible, because what I thought was, hey, now I can have sex as much as I want and ejaculate as much as I want. So from 21 to 23, I was ballistic. I was a ballistic missile in order to get married. That was my goal. That was my passion. That was my drive. There was nothing else in my head. Of course, I was working. I was making money. I was thinking business. I was, going into business school. There was a lot of things going on, but my main goal was to have sex, but to have sex the right way, which is what I understood at the time, to get married and then to have sex. Because, man, can you imagine? I'm like you guys. At the time right now, you've got all this massive sexual energy and you want to have sex several times a week, of course. But I was now 23, and then after 6 weeks after having been married, I was wondering what the heck is going on. She's not pregnant yet. I was wondering if something was wrong with me. This was what I was thinking about. I was thinking, I want to get married, I want to have kids immediately, and I want to make sure that just, I want to have kids as many as possible and make things happen that way. I had no idea, man. It was like I'd been told my entire life that this is what you do. You're a virgin, and then you get married, and then you basically get as much academic education as you possibly can, get a good job, and then provide for your family. The point is that I did not know what I know today. And if I could give you guys some advice, those who are 15 years after me, or those are 10 years after me, get your finances out of the way. In terms of get your finances right before you get your woman, before you get your kids, and before you start, creating that lifestyle of yours. Having that foundation, the foundation of your finances right. There's nothing more important than that, okay? Nothing. At your age of 18 to 25, there's nothing else. I would encourage you to have more soundly foundational, established than anything else. It's not about ejaculation control, and in many ways, seed retention is in order for you to get your finances in order. What I say in order, that's one thing I got right, was semen retention as a teenager. Practicing semen retention, and then until 23 years old, massive semen retention. Where I went wrong was the fact that I was searching for a sexual relationship way too soon. Way too soon. Okay? You guys can actually avoid that mistake. It's a mistake. You do not want to be in a relationship with a woman too early. Okay? But at the same time, you know, you can have some financial goals that you're building yourself up to while living celibately. I can promise you, if you manage to live celibately and you actually practice seed retention the way that we explain it on this channel, and you don't search for women to have sex with, man, do you have any idea what you can actually accomplish with your life? Do you have any idea the foundational aspects of life that you can set up in order for you to have those amazing relationships in the future, for you to set up that amazing family, for you guys to be able to travel the world together, you know, go to the Maldives and go to Bahamas and go to like all these crazy, awesome places because you set up your life the right way. And it starts by you simply deciding, I don't want to have any sexual relationships at this point in time. It's not me right now. Now, 5% of you guys that are watching this, maybe more percent, are saying, yeah, but I've got this long-term relationship. Okay. The long-term relationships that I basically would recommend that you keep are those where you've been together for a very, very long time, or you've been married for a very, very, very long time. And especially if you've got kids, of course, you're not going to get rid of that. You'll have to manage to establish yourself and to establish your foundation while having that relationship. But for those of you others, the 95%, oh my gosh, if you can manage just for a few years, maybe even just a few months, if you've got this amazing idea and you've got and you understand your finances, you've got your foundational purposes in place, for you, it might just take 6 months. It might take 12 months, a year. I don't know what it's going to take for you, okay? But there's way too many guys that are rushing into that sexual relationship way too fast. And I tried to warn them. I'm like, dude, this is way too early for you, and you don't have your foundation set up yet. If you still have a job, or if you don't have a job, it's not the time yet to have women in your life. If you have barely started a business, or you've started a business but it's not producing constant, continual, passive income to you yet, you're not ready to have women in your life. Okay, the only exceptions are the exceptions that I mentioned. For those 95% of you, seriously, get rid of it. If you're not together with the woman of your dreams, and you're not expecting that it's you guys forever and ever and ever and ever, and you want to have kids with her, you want to experience the whole world with her, and she makes you feel like you're improving every single day, man, I would really reconsider that relationship. If they're casual relationship, the decision is easy. Casual relationships, get rid of them. And the reason, very, very simply put, it's a distraction. Women have way more issues than we do, and they're emotionally unstable when it comes to their reproductive cycle. The more burdened they are, the more problematic they're going to be. If they're not as burdened, you might feel that you're doing some things right, but it's not really like that. The reason why they're unburdened is because there's no financial crisis. Everything's hunky-dory wonderful. You guys have not gone through a financial crisis yet, but it's coming, okay? And at that moment in time, you don't want to have been together with the girl for 3 years, and then she now becomes massively burdened with all of her problems in her life, and then you have to fix it and solve it at the same time as you have to rescue and survive in a drowning business that you might have in the future. The financial crisis is not for you to manage to keep your head above water. The financial crisis is for you to massively attack and conquer the whole economy, to conquer the whole marketplace. You never want to waste a good recession. Okay? Recessions are fantastic if you don't have problems. But recessions are horrific if you've got problems. And if you've got a girlfriend, or casual relationships, or you need sex all the time, that's going to be a problem, and it's going to affect you, it's going to affect your habits, it's going to affect your business. It's not only about the financial crisis, but it's also the fact that they can get pregnant. It's also the fact that they have in-laws. It's also the fact that they have friends and family that give them issues, and those issues spill on you in so many different ways. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong when you've got women in your life and you don't understand the female psyche. Okay, the reason why I'm explaining this, I'm explaining from a standpoint of studying the female psyche for more than 7 years. Okay, I've been married for 10 years in October. It's only 2 months left to that. You don't want to be in a relationship when you're setting up your foundation. Again, if you're an exception to the rule, comment down below if you ask me if you're an exception to the rule, or get some coaching from me if you're an exception to the rule. But if you're not an exception to the rule, I'm gonna be very clear cut about what I believe you should be doing and should not be doing with your relationships. Again, I teach principles and I let people govern themselves. They can do whatever the hell that they want to do. But me personally, man, if I would do it again, I'd stay away until I'd established my finances, established my business, had massive passive income. Okay, I like that word. Massive passive income. So that you can handle the problems that will come your way once you bring women into your life. Your financial situation is the most important thing for you to focus on, even if it takes 5 years of celibacy, man. I promise you, it's worth it. As long as you get the direction of someone who understands business, someone who understands finances, don't just go around willy-nilly doing whatever you want other than, being with women. I'm saying set aside women, retain the massive sexual energy that you have in you. That's a positive thing in your early 20s and your late teens. Use that massive sexual energy to drive yourself forward and use women as a motivation. You don't understand the concept of using women as motivation without using them. It's amazing. Don't use women, sleep around, and then get rid of them. You want to use women that you haven't even met yet and establish your financial situation, establish your financial foundation. And it's not even about them, seeing that you're rich, because you don't want women, the women that you're gonna attract in the future, to know that you have a lot of money. That's not the point. You're not attracting them because of you have money. You're attracting them because they actually like you, they actually love you, and they won't know that you have a lot of money because you're not going to talk about it. Okay, and if you do have a lot of money, they don't know how much money you have because you don't share it with them. You just understand that it's all about setting yourself up financially for the future. You have no idea what's possible for you in the future, and you have no idea the problems that are going to enter into your future if you don't set yourself up right now financially. This channel is completely different than anyone else out there because I'm telling you straight between the eyes exactly how it is. Don't get involved with women. And if you're an exception to the rule, then you're an exception to the rule, but many of you are not. Okay, so just make it happen. I'm proud of you guys. I love you guys. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next one.